Today, the music world mourns the loss of Todd Snider, who passed away at just 59. His label announced the news, and it's a gut punch for anyone who loves honest, heartfelt songwriting. Todd was more than a singer. He was the soul of Nashville's gritty, real side, telling stories for the outsiders and underdogs. He made us laugh, made us think, and made us feel seen. Todd never chased fame. He just wanted to connect, and he built a family of fans who understood him. His songs were comfort and truth, all wrapped in wit. The loss is fresh, and it's hard to believe he's gone. But his legacy is clear. He belongs among the great American songwriters. Now, it's up to us to keep his spirit alive by sharing his music and stories. Todd Snider was, above all, a storyteller. With just a guitar and a microphone, he could command a room, drawing people in with his easy charm and sharp wit. He didn't just play songs, he spun tales, weaving together humor, heartache, and hope in a way that felt both effortless and deeply personal. Whether he was playing to a packed theater or a small smoky bar, Todd had a way of making every listener feel like they were part of something special, like they were sitting around a campfire with an old friend. He turned everyday moments into unforgettable songs, painting vivid pictures with his words. Todd found inspiration in the ordinary, conversations overheard at a diner, the struggles of friends, or the quirks of small-town life. His lyrics were filled with details that made his stories come alive, and his melodies lingered long after the last note faded. Each song was a snapshot of real life, honest and unfiltered, yet somehow magical. His humor and honesty made his music feel like a conversation with an old friend. He wasn't afraid to poke fun at himself or the world around him, and that vulnerability drew people in. Fans would leave his shows with sore cheeks from laughing, but also with a sense of comfort, knowing they weren't alone in their struggles. On stage, his rambling stories and self-deprecating jokes made every show unique. No two performances were ever quite the same. He'd wander off on tangents, share behind-the-scenes tales, and invite the audience into his world. It was as if he was letting you peek behind the curtain, showing you the messy, beautiful process of making music and living life. Songs like All Right Guy and Conservative Christian, Right-Wing Republican, Straight White American Males showed his sharp wit and fearless honesty. He tackled controversial topics with a grin, never shying away from saying what others were thinking. His music challenged listeners to see the world from a different perspective, all while keeping them entertained. He celebrated imperfection and made us feel okay about our own flaws. Todd's songs reminded us that it's all right to be a little broken, a little lost, or a little weird. He found beauty in the messiness of life, and he encouraged his fans to do the same, turning vulnerability into a kind of quiet strength. Todd tackled big ideas with a light touch, making complicated things feel simple and human. He could sing about politics, love, or loss without ever sounding preachy or heavy-handed. Instead, he invited listeners to reflect, to laugh, and to find meaning in the little things. His fans loved him because he made them feel understood. In a world that often feels disconnected, Todd's music was a reminder that we're all in this together. He built a community out of songs and stories, bringing people together through shared laughter and tears. Listening to Todd was like hearing your own thoughts put to music. He gave voice to the things we all feel but can't always say, turning the ordinary into something extraordinary. His songs became soundtracks for road trips, late nights, and quiet moments of reflection. He was a poet for the people, a philosopher in a t-shirt. Todd never put on airs, he was as real as they come, and that authenticity made him beloved by so many. He reminded us that wisdom can come from the most unexpected places, and that sometimes the best advice is delivered with a smile and a song. We'll miss his voice, but his stories live on. In every lyric, every melody, and every memory shared by those who loved him, Todd Snider's spirit endures, a storyteller with a guitar, whose songs will echo for generations. Todd Snider's music defied labels. Folk, country, rock, it was all in there. He blended genres effortlessly, creating a sound that was uniquely his. You could hear Dylan's wordplay, Prine's humor, and a rock and roll spirit, but it was always pure Todd. He called it peace, love, and anarchy, music with a message, but never too serious. His songs ranged from protest anthems to hilarious tales of everyday life. Todd's albums were unpredictable, always evolving but always true to his core. He didn't care about polish, he cared about the story. The rough edges made his music feel real, like you were right there with him. He proved you don't need fancy production, just a guitar, a story, and heart. That's the magic he leaves behind. Todd Snider took control of his destiny by founding Aimless Incomilarm, his own record label. It was classic Todd, choosing freedom over fitting in. He released music on his own terms, following inspiration instead of industry rules. This independence led to some of his most creative work. Aimless Records wasn't just a business, it was a community for artists who didn't fit the mainstream mold. Todd championed authenticity, reminding us music is about passion, not profit. He gave other misfit musicians a home, building a family of originals. His journey with Aimless is a lesson in carving your own path. Success, for Todd, was about meaning, not numbers. By betting on himself, he protected his vision and left a legacy of pure, unfiltered art. That's a legacy worth more than any gold record. Todd Snider always honored the legends who inspired him: Guy Clark, John Prine, Chris Christopherson. These weren't just names in the liner notes or faces on album covers. They were living, breathing examples of what it meant to be a true songwriter. Todd grew up listening to their stories, learning the craft not just from their music, but from their lives. He soaked up their wisdom, their humor, and their honesty, carrying those lessons with him as he found his own voice. He learned from the best, then became one of them. Todd's journey from fan to peer was marked by countless nights on the road, playing small clubs and big stages, always striving to live up to the standards set by his heroes. He didn't just imitate, he innovated, taking what he learned and making it his own. These mentors weren't just idols, they became friends and collaborators. Todd found himself welcomed into their inner circles, sharing stories, songs, and laughter backstage and in late-night writing sessions. The camaraderie was real, and the respect went both ways. Todd carried their influence with grace, blending tradition with his own style. He honored the roots of Americana while pushing its boundaries, never afraid to experiment or to speak his mind. His music became a bridge between generations, connecting the past with the present. He co-wrote with icons like Loretta Lynn and had his songs covered by Jerry Jeff Walker and even Tom Jones. These collaborations weren't just career milestones. They were proof that Todd's songwriting resonated far beyond his own circle, reaching legends and newcomers alike. The respect was mutual. He was both student and peer. Todd's humility and wit made him a favorite among fellow musicians, and his willingness to share what he'd learned helped foster a sense of community wherever he went. Todd became a vital link between songwriting generations, passing the torch to younger artists. He mentored up-and-coming songwriters, offering advice, encouragement, and sometimes just a good story to remind them why they started in the first place. He showed them it's okay to be smart, funny, and vulnerable all at once. Todd's performances were as much about storytelling as they were about music, and he taught others that authenticity is the key to connecting with an audience. His biggest lesson: find your own voice and tell your truth. Todd believed that every songwriter has a unique story to share, and he encouraged others to dig deep, to be honest, and to never settle for anything less than their best. Todd's place in the unbroken chain of American storytelling is secure. His songs echo the wisdom of the legends who came before him, while inspiring those who will follow. Now, his torch lights the way for the next generation, reminding them that the heart of songwriting is honesty, courage, and a willingness to keep the story going. Just weeks ago, Todd was set to tour with his acclaimed new album. Fans were ready, the buzz was real, then suddenly, the tour was canceled. The reason: Todd was the victim of a violent assault in Utah, leaving him with severe injuries. The news was shocking and details were scarce, fueling concern for his health. Reports followed of hospital visits and an arrest, showing a man in distress and pain. It was a public, heartbreaking struggle for someone who'd always been open about his battles. The canceled tour became a symbol of his vulnerability. It reminded us that even our heroes are human, fighting battles we may never see. All we could do was hope for his recovery. Sadly, that hope was not enough. Todd's final days were marked by hardship. After returning to Tennessee, he was hospitalized with walking pneumonia, a serious blow on top of everything else. The illness, combined with recent trauma, proved too much. On November 15th, Todd Snider passed away in Hendersonville, Tennessee. The official cause isn't confirmed, but his family's statement about pneumonia says it all. It's a tragic end for a man who brought so much joy. But his struggles don't define him. What matters is the music, the laughter, and the kindness he gave the world. After Todd's passing, his label captured his spirit perfectly, summarizing a life that was as unpredictable as it was inspiring. Todd was more than just a musician. He was a storyteller, a friend, and a beacon for anyone who ever felt a little out of place. His songs were filled with wit, wisdom, and a rare honesty that made listeners feel seen and understood. He found humor in life's chaos and tenderness in every song, weaving laughter and heartbreak together in a way that felt effortless. Whether he was backstage cracking jokes or hunched over a notebook, Todd's creative spark was always burning. Tributes poured in from fans and musicians worldwide, each sharing how Todd's music touched their lives. Some remembered the comfort his lyrics brought during hard times, while others recalled the joy of singing along at his concerts, feeling like part of a big, rowdy family. People remembered the first time they heard Beer Run, how it made them laugh out loud, or how it became the soundtrack to a road trip with friends. His songs had a way of sneaking into your life and staying there, like old friends you never wanted to lose. Others cried to Just Like Old Times, finding solace in the way Todd could turn pain into poetry. His music was a companion through heartbreak, a reminder that even the saddest stories could be told with a wink and a smile. His live shows were legendary for their warmth and unpredictability. No two nights were ever the same. One moment, the crowd would be roaring with laughter, and the next, you could hear a pin drop as Todd sang a ballad that cut straight to the heart. Todd wasn't a distant star, he felt like a friend. He stayed after shows to sign autographs, share stories, and listen to fans' own tales. He made everyone feel like they mattered, no matter how big or small the venue. Losing him feels personal, like losing a piece of our own story. For so many, Todd's music marked milestones: first loves, heartbreaks, reunions, and goodbyes. His absence leaves a quiet ache, a reminder of how deeply he was woven into our lives. The music world is quieter, less clever, and less fun without him. The empty stage and silent guitar case are symbols of a voice that can never be replaced, a presence that made every room brighter. He was a poet, a comedian, a rocker, and a folk singer, all in one. Todd blurred the lines between genres and roles, always surprising his audience and never taking himself too seriously. He spoke for the dreamers and misfits, the ones who saw the world a little differently. His songs gave voice to those who felt left out, reminding them that they belonged. The sadness is deep, but so is the gratitude for all he gave us. We celebrate the laughter, the tears, and the countless memories his music created. Todd's legacy is not just in the songs he wrote, but in the lives he touched. Todd's songs and stories will echo for years to come, playing on radios, in living rooms, and around campfires, reminding us that even though he's gone, his spirit will always be part of the soundtrack of our lives. What made Todd Snider special? He was real. In a world of polish, Todd was raw and honest, singing about life's messiness and beauty. His songs are time capsules, sharp, witty, and full of heart. He belongs with the songwriting greats, and his legacy is the community he built. Todd's concerts felt like family reunions, inspiring others to tell their own truths. He proved you don't need a big machine, just honesty and a good song. Though his journey has ended, his music is timeless. We'll play his records for our kids, share his stories, and sing All Right Guy when we need hope. Todd may be gone, but his voice will never be silenced. The troubadour has left the stage, but his songs play on. For that, we're forever grateful. Thank you, Todd. We'll miss you,